NYSE Euronext believes that today, when you look at the financial markets in Europe and the equities markets, we see competition. We see 1/4 of the volumes, equity volumes in Europe, traded on MTFs. An investor needs a similar level of protection if he trades on a regulated market or if he trades on an MTF. And we believe that today we should enforce similar rules for similar functions. And the European Commission needs to reestablish this level playing field with MiFID II.
We do believe that it's important for regulators and legislators to look at the potential conflicts of interest that one can observe with MTFs. It's not the classic scenario where you have startups from scratch, the sort of scrappy underdog trying to enter a market. Here we see the MTFs, which are sponsored, owned by the large financial institutions that are, at the end of the day, responsible for the surveillance and market integrity of that venue. So in terms of establishing trust in capital market infrastructure, we do believe that perhaps this is an area that legislators ought to focus on. The profitability or lack thereof of the MTFs is certainly a strange phenomenon, where after achieving considerable market share, they are persistently unprofitable. Whether that's by accident or by design remains to be defined. However, we see the users of the MTFs, who of course are also the shareholders, benefit considerably through the arbitrage that's permitted by the existence of the MTFs, which they own. And I would say, secondly, the rebates that they, the users, receive for providing liquidity to the MTFs is also, I think, a considerable fact behind this unprofitability. This scenario is driven by provisions or by benefits which do not extend to the regulated markets. However, we do think that a degree of transparency in this, as in everything else, would be a good step to establishing further confidence in financial markets. I think in terms of the non-level playing field between MTFs and regulated markets, one has to acknowledge the very serious public interest mission that's entrusted to regulated markets today. And I think most importantly, the regulated markets bear the responsibility for very sizable, costly market surveillance and market integrity operations, which the MTFs, despite their sizable market share, do not have to follow today. So I think if we're looking at the concept of same business, identical rules, which the European Commission has proposed, then the legislator really needs to tackle this particular area.